I used to believe I had my own house. That was until I started crashing at everyone else's. I usually stayed with the people I forced myself to rely on because I couldn't handle the mess of my own. I found more comfort in other people's blankets than I had in my own skin. Sometimes I would go back where I came from and try again. I felt suffocated by the air in there, so I would open a window or two, maybe even a few, and I would leave out that door once more. At first, leaving my windows open wasn't so bad, but when the winter got cold, my bones froze over, requiring a heat exposure. In the summer, the wind carried bugs and the out became in. When I went back after a while, I panicked with stress at the sight of the mess that I didn't even close the door. Not hearing the knock to alert me of the presence of the adolescents as they drag in their own version of the outside world. "Can you help me clean up this mess so I have less to stress?" I asked some stranger. "Well, not to be mean, but it's not my house to clean," he said. I knew he was right and that it was my fault. My house wasn't a home, and if I never avoided it in the first place, I wouldn't be here. The man walked away to another group of strangers that were making another big mess. If only I closed the door and kept it locked, there would be nothing that needed to be stopped. I looked down at my feet to see my carpet stained with footprints of the people from my past. My house fills with smoke as everyone looks at me like some kind of joke. I felt I lost control and I just fell to the floors because I had already fallen as low as can be. My house wasn't so pretty anymore. All because I opened that door. I stayed watching as my house went up in flames and I was the one to blame. I didn't give enough care because I was never there. At last, all that was left was me and the same foundation that I once knew. I was only left with two options, and it was to move forward and start all over with a complete deep makeover, or to forever feel homeless and starve from what could be. I picked myself up and started with the foundation that is oh so familiar, and the walls and roof from what I knew. I made sure my house was stable, and I trusted that it would be okay once it was in the light of day. I planted gardens where there were once seeds, and I made orange lilies pop up in my front flower beds because orange is always my favorite color. Once it was complete, I looked around and found that my home was cozy and clean and a place to be when I just want to be me. It is a place I go when the summers are hot and the winters are cold. I love my house because it isn't just a building with four walls or a structured shell of what could be, but it's my house that eventually became a home from within me.